Finally, the moment we were waiting for is here. Boruto Chapter 29 explodes with the legendary clash, Boruto versus Momoshiki. This isn't just a fight, it's Boruto facing his destiny. A battle that decides whether he remains a shinobi or becomes something far more dangerous. Power, sacrifice, and shocking revelations collide in this chapter, and everything about Boruto's future changes from this moment. We start deep within Boruto's consciousness. The atmosphere is heavy. Momoshiki Otsutsuki, manifesting beside Boruto, immediately cuts to the chase. He asks incredulously, "Your body? You'll hand over?" Momoshiki stares him down, sensing the resolve in his vessel. He says, "You can tell, can't you, that I'm serious?" Boruto, sitting calmly despite the chaos, simply replies, "Yep." Momoshiki explains the nature of their bond, seemingly annoyed by it. Irritating as it is, every thought of ours is completely transparent to each other. Boruto lays out his condition. He tells Momoshiki that he will hand over control, but there is a catch. That's if we manage to take Jura down. I won't renege. He is making a deal with the devil to save the village.
Close up on Momoshiki's realization. He understands Boruto's true plan. Momoshiki pieces it together instantly. He looks at Boruto with a mix of disdain and realization. I get it. You have no hope for a future. He realizes Boruto intends to disappear from the world as quickly as possible. Momoshiki accuses him directly. You want to kill me off. Your intent is real. Boruto doesn't deny it. So it seems, he admits. But Momoshiki, ever the manipulator, counters. He says, very well, unless you have a chance to obtain freedom. Boruto interrupts the psychological game with cold logic. He points out their shared threat. You're right so far, no? They're enemies to us both, these divine trees. The tension peaks. Momoshiki warns him. It won't be as easy as that, fool. He threatens that the moment the divine trees are gone and he is free, he will dispose of Kawaki in the blink of an eye. Boruto ignores the threat against Kawaki and demands an answer to the immediate problem. Hehe, help me or not, will you? Just answer me. Scene shift. Momoshiki makes his choice. He looks down at Boruto and gives him the green light. Use the karma and whatever else you want. His final command before we snap back to reality is a bloodthirsty one. Now go out there and destroy our foes. He asks rhetorically, what's there to think about? Suddenly, we are ripped back to reality. A voice screams out, don't you interfere, Otsutsuki.
We launch immediately into high-speed combat on the streets of the village. Boruto is moving like a blur. With a heavy buff sound effect, Boruto slams into an enemy. Notice that Boruto is fighting with a handicap. He is clutching a small body, likely Himawari, protecting her with his left arm while fighting exclusively with his right. The enemies, the Claw Grime, lunge at him. We hear the wind tearing with a jwa sound as they swipe. Boruto weaves through the attacks effortlessly. Boruto is moving so fast he's barely visible, dodging and striking. He lands a heavy kick or impact, knocking an enemy back. An enemy tries to scream in frustration, but they can't keep up. This is the highlight of the sequence. Boruto draws his sword while mid-air. He leaps over a group of enemies. With a sharp vish, he descends. In a single fluid motion, he cuts through them. Zwesh and slash. The blade moves so cleanly that the enemies are cut down before they can react. Precision. Even while landing, he spins, his cape flowing behind him, decapitating or disabling multiple foes in a 360-degree radius. He is a whirlwind of steel. As the bodies hit the floor, Shikadai's voice cuts in through the comms. He's acting as the eye in the sky. 2 streets over at your 4 o'clock. Boruto doesn't hesitate. We get a close-up of his right eye. Shkeen, the Byakugan, activates. He instantly locates the targets Shikadai mentioned. Boruto, 3 more of them. Boruto spots them through the walls of a building. He doesn't stop running. He whips out shuriken, throwing them with a sharp whip sound. The scene ends with him rushing headlong toward the next engagement, his karma and Byakugan fully active, ready to destroy the foes just as Momoshiki commanded.
Picking up right where we left off, Boruto escalates the battle instantly. As the shurikens fly, he executes a legendary technique. He shouts, "Flying Raijin Jutsu!" With a sharp ching sound, his marked kunai or beacon lands. Boruto vanishes and instantly reappears behind the enemy line. He lands with a solid thud. The enemies are completely disoriented, hearing the sound veer as he shifts positions faster than sight. He launches himself into the air, hovering above the unsuspecting Claw Grime. He is charging up something big. Energy crushes the enemies into the ground, creating a massive cloud of dust. While suspended in midair, Boruto gathers an immense amount of chakra. He unleashes it downward. He yells, "Massive Rasengan!" The impact is devastating. The giant sphere of and debris, the sheer scale of the attack engulfs everything below him. As the dust settles, the tactical team is hard at work. Shikadai and Ino are coordinating the village's defense. We see Shikadai receiving updates. A sensory ninja reports, "Team 10, continue standing by in Sector D East." Shikadai replies coolly, "I know." But the reports keep flooding in. In Sector G North, Lord 8th, even more, and also in Sector D South. Shikadai directs Boruto immediately via telepathy. He orders Boruto to Sector D South now. His instructions are ruthless. Herd them east and, if possible, exterminate them. Boruto, already on the move, responds simply, "Roger." We see him dashing across the rooftops, eager for the next fight. We cut to the Claw Grime. They are panicking. They've noticed their forces are being wiped out. One of them says, "It's that bastard Boruto." Another notes, "Hey, our numbers plunge suddenly." Realizing they can't beat him head-on, they change tactics. They decide, "We'll quickly find Eida." They agree to split up and make a crucial decision regarding Boruto. Ignore him. He's not our target. Suddenly, one of the split-off groups stops dead in their tracks. A shadow looms over them. Question? Scene shift. A heavy foot stomps down into the frame. The camera pans up to reveal Kawaki, looking bored and dangerous. With a heavy vroo sound effect, his presence dominates the scene. He speaks into his comms. "Kawaki here." He reports calmly, "Engaging. I've located the Sector C North Sulamushi." Kawaki doesn't use hand signs. He uses brute force and body modifications. He looks at the enemies with disgust, one pest after another. His arm violently shapeshifts. It expands into a massive monstrous claw. He prepares to strike, asking them, "So these bugs fly? You want to play, eh?" The violence explodes. Kawaki slams his modified limb into them. He moves with jet propulsion from his body. The sounds of flesh tearing are visceral as he tears through the enemies. Kawaki extends sharp spikes from his body, impaling a Claw Grime through the head. It's a brutal, close-quarters execution. The scene ends with Kawaki finishing off the stragglers. He raises his hand. From his palm, a black rod materializes. He grabs it tight, ready to hunt down the next target. The contrast is clear. Boruto fights with precision and ninjutsu, while Kawaki fights with raw, modified power.
In the heat of the battle with Kawaki, he is a force of nature, moving with a speed and brutality that the divine tree spawns simply cannot track. Kawaki launches himself into the air, his silhouette framed against the smoke-filled sky. He spins mid-air, his cape flapping violently as he descends like a predator. He lands a series of heavy, bone-crushing blows. He is moving so fast the sound can barely keep up. He isn't just fighting, he's clearing the area with surgical efficiency. Kawaki stands amidst the wreckage of his enemies. He checks in via his comms. He reports, "Sector C North is clear." The command center responds, "Nice work, Kawaki." But nearby, the surviving Claw Grime are in a state of shock. They can't understand how they are being hunted so easily. One panics, "Hey, we were done in again. What the hell's going on?" Another notes the impossibility of it. "It feels like they can detect us, even though we've erased our chakra signatures." A colder, more calculated Grime speaks up. "It don't matter." He reveals their terrifying advantage. "If we need 'em, we make more. Let's scatter wider." They realize their current goal is to expose yourselves to lots of onlookers and grab the attention of as many of them as you can. While the battle rages outside, a different kind of war is happening inside the village's interrogation wing. Mitsuki is being grilled about Boruto's escape. The investigator is blunt. The investigation completely disproved the possibility that impact could have caused them to open. He continues, "It's since been confirmed that there was nothing wrong with them, no malfunction." The investigator leans in, the tension thick, which then begs the question of how someone who lacks the necessary authority happened to know that 4-digit code. He delivers the final accusation, meaning, Mitsuki, we have no choice but to conclude that you intentionally unlocked them. He demands an answer. Answer me, Mitsuki. How did you know the release code?
Just as the pressure on Mitsuki reaches a breaking point, the door slides open. Pardon me, says Konohamaru Sarutobi as he enters. The investigator is annoyed. I don't recall summoning you. What is it, Sarutobi? Konohamaru looks hesitant. There is something I forgot to tell you earlier. Apologies. It's rather difficult for me to say this. Before he can finish, the village's sensory unit screams over the speakers. Sensory unit here, reports of divine tree-like individuals plus the traitor Boruto sighted within the village. The situation has turned into a total disaster. Sai comes through the comms, his voice urgent. Sai here, it's urgent. Divine trees may have infiltrated the village. He adds the shocking news, Boruto's been sighted too. The scene shifts to a civilian cafe. People are talking normally until... The ground shakes. People look up in terror. Huh? What is it? The divine tree clones are multiplying at an impossible rate. A lookout screams, damn it, they've suddenly multiplied again, really rapidly. There's at least... One of the clones, looking monstrous with a long, drooping tongue, walks through the crowd. It asks a chilling question. Hey, you there, where's Eida? The village is under siege, and the command center is scrambling. Shikadai barks a change of plans to Boruto. Boruto, change of plans, herd them from the southwest and link up with Team 10 in east. Boruto's response is cold and ready. Roger that.
Back in the interrogation room, Konohamaru drops a bombshell that changes the entire legal standing of Boruto's escape. He looks the investigator in the eye and claims, but it appears that the release code to the cuffs was never actually set. He takes the blame, stating, "It was my mistake." He explains that Boruto's cuffs were never actually locked, meaning Impact could have opened them even without the release code. The investigator is no fool. He stares at Konohamaru and asks coldly, "What are you trying to do?" He leans in and whispers the truth. "I know you're the one who set Boruto free." He reveals the deeper conspiracy, noting that if the truth comes out, Shikamaru, the 8th Hokkai, might be removed from his position because he was the one who gave Konohamaru the code. The investigator sighs. "You've proven to be quite inept at lying." Meanwhile, the Divine Tree clones are observing the village like predators. One of them looks up, sensing Eida's gaze. "Watching us right now, eh?" They count the potential victims, so there are about 70 people among them. They confirm that Eida herself is not in the immediate vicinity and decide to move out. With a sharp "sa," and they vanish from the rooftops. Back in the interrogation wing, the investigator cuts the chatter. "Enough, say no more," he barks. He demands to summon the Hokkai here, but outside, the battle has reached Himawari. As a Shinju clone lunges, a familiar face strikes. Shikadai rushes to Himawari's side. He asks urgently, "You okay, Hima?" She gives him a determined, "Yup." The enemies tried to retreat or reposition with high-speed movements. Shikadai doesn't let them escape. He weaves his hand signs with blinding speed. He shouts, "Casting net shadow paralysis jutsu." The shadows snake across the ground and up the walls of the cafe building. The Shinju clones are caught mid-air and mid-climb. The clones are slammed into the roof and ground. We hear them grunt in pain. Inojin watches the success of the move, shouting, "Nice!" and "Yes!" He's hyped, declaring, "We're on a roll!" But the victory is short-lived. The scene ends on a chilling note. While the kids celebrate their teamwork, a dark hooded figure watches from the shadows in silence. The Shinju leader, Jura, gives a dark, "ha ha," signaling that the real fight has only just begun.